So make sure you got everything you want added to the show notes and things like that. I know Mission's added a ton of stuff as well. So yeah, so I'll be right back.
All right.
And I is back.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, me too. I'm gonna grab some drink real quick. Hang on. We got 5 minutes.
3 minutes. Hurry up.
Yeah. It's not my fault. You guys are too young to remember the outer limits, or that was the outer limits.
So it's just being very quiet and it's scary.
How's the delay on the stream looking? So about 5-10 seconds.
Yeah, about that. Well, not 10 seconds, about 3 to 5. So it's not too bad.
We're starting at a quarter after, right?
Yep, so we've got about a minute.
$15 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Don't make me slap you.
Alright, we ready?
Yeah. Is Zoza ready?
Sure.
There we go.
I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking.
Just sit there and look pretty, huh?
Ready.
One or two things.
Okay. So, let's get started then.
Alright. We'll be live in 3, 2, 1. Come one, come all to the single most exciting non-content patch in gaming. Why non-content? Have you listened to me for more than 5 minutes? If you have, consider yourself lucky. If you haven't, the only thing you do is put wax your ears, I completely screwed that up. Yeah, you could tell I just woke up. If you haven't, consider yourself lucky, because if you have, the only thing you can do is put wax on cotton, stick it in your ears, and hope to God it don't fuck the rest of this up. The Ordocast, the only place on the grid where I can't fucking speak right, and I've only been doing this 18 times for the last fucking 5 months. Fuck this, I can't even do this right. Welcome to the goddamn Ordocast.
Welcome to the Ordocast, everyone. This is episode 17, Smoke Signals, and I think Keisha's going to use them because he's lost all ability to speak.
Yeah, okay, George.
And yes, as you can see, we have our illustrious leader with us again this week. Say hi, Zoza.
Hi, Zoza.
You realize that joke is over 100 years old, right?
I know.
Say goodnight, Gracie. Goodnight, Gracie.
Why do we let this go on the show?
And yet it
Why?
works.
We do have Mission here with us, although he's not actually on cam, but he is there in the background somewhere, coming through from TS. I believe you might hear him occasionally.
Smacking us in the fucking background.
Yeah. So, eventful couple of weeks.
Don't have to use the background for that, Keisha.
And there he is.
Okay. All right. So, what are we going to start off with besides the fact that I can't speak today?
Well, I would start with awards. But someone left a little note there for us for awards.
Awards will still be documented, but may not be visible for some time.
So who do we have to slap? Zoza or Carvey?
Firefox.
Firefox.
Okay, we'll slap Firefox this time.
He'd probably enjoy it. Kinky little bastard.
He probably would. So, as there's no awards, let's move on to chapter news.
Yay, chapter news.
Go on, Keisha, I'll let you kick this one off.
Alright, so
You need to practice.
Yeah. I'll try to speak my best this time, boss. So from Auxiliary, oh my god, Neverwinter. We've got new modules. Number 8, named after Underdark, has been released. It's got a new area, new boons, and new artifact equipment. So, yay! There was much rejoicing. Final Fantasy 14. There's an uptick in activity. You know I'm a Monty Python fan. There's an uptick in activity due to the release of patch 3.1, which includes... Oh, fuck. Are you serious?
Yeah, they've gone...
Pokemon battles.
They've gone World of Warcraft crap on us.
What? Wait a second. I need to read this.
It includes Pokemon-style battles, airship exploration missions, new dungeons, primals, and other cool things. So, like, if you guys play Final Fantasy 14, you probably know about it already. But, like usual, check the description after the broadcast. We can put this up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm. Patch number 15 is out. New Towers of Doom map. Yay, Doom. There's a new hero, Shogal. There's a hero level up rebound. Oh, the hero levels have upped their rebalancing and other changes. So, again, check the description.
Yep.
Has anything happened with PS2 lately?
Yeah, there was an event on Thursday that only me and Zoza turned up to. We had some fun. Killed some guys. Capped a base.
Nope. No fun at all.
No, of course not. No.
It wasn't a first day, though. What did you expect?
It sounds like
Zoza
Totally weren't running a two-man squad or a two-squad platoon.
And we totally didn't end up getting, like, you know...
We were
a
getting our
full
asses kicked
squad.
at first. But
At first, yeah. But it ended up being a lot of fun.
some questionable targets that...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aimbots. Yay.
Yeah.
I don't want to accuse, but
yeah, you don't want to.
Everybody. See, we were having this discussion the other day with a couple of people. We were talking about Call of Duty and a few other things, and it's basically this is why we can't have nice things because the fucking hackers and the aimbots fuck everything up. But that's a rant for another day.
Rant about that now. No, I'm not gonna rant about that.
Let's see. So Firefox, besides breaking the forums, has given us some news. Star Citizen said he's got apparently Arena Commander 2.0 is coming out soon. Other than that, there's not a whole lot other stuff as far as specifics and all that stuff goes. So
you all are fighting over the Google document, really?
Yes.
Do I need to ban the both of you
while watching the edits?
Okay, so basically,
this
if you
is
guys
the kind
don't know
of
how
shit
Google
we
Doc
do.
works, you've never used a Google Doc before. It's basically just a Word document that has group ability to type and stuff, and each person has their own little colored icon. Right now, Esfa and fucking Mashan are going back and forth. Mashan's adding his own welcome to be an SG4, and
Why
then
did I have to be fucking Mashad?
and then somebody puts in there, "You wish." Gee, I wonder who that was. I love you guys. I really do. You make this one. God, yeah. This is gonna be a good Ordocast. I can tell. This is the most fun we've had in a while.
Someone start throwing packets of caffeine at Keisho, please.
Yeah.
Just throw coffee at his head.
Mainline that shit. This is what happens when you work 18 hours a day.
Instead.
So War Thunder, apparently.
Well, hang on, we forgot Star Citizen.
Yep, Star Citizen.
We talked about that.
No, we didn't.
I saw a pretty good. I don't know if it's a new trailer. It's probably an old one that I just missed. But I saw a new-ish trailer from Star Citizen. I think it was from the beginning of this month. It looked pretty cool. They were exploring space, and they landed on a planet. And they got out of their ship. It was pretty cool. I haven't played myself,
wow.
but
in a space game they explore space? You don't say.
I know, right?
Wow, that's like amazing.
I think, maybe the goal is
Amazing.
exploration and colonizing. Maybe a future goal. I'm not sure.
Right, okay.
If I can find it.
If you can find it. I speak if.
Hashtag Ordo professionalism.
Yes.
I could have sworn there's somebody in this call said, "Hey, make sure everybody's got their links and everything up before we get going. We got 5 minutes left."
Hey, I'm grabbing the random YouTube video, so
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the other one.
oh yeah,
I didn't
I
intend to link it. Sorry. Go find it yourself.
Okay, so while you guys are piddling around with that,
yeah,
War
get
Thunder,
back to work.
Yeah, I know. War Thunder. Apparently FO4 borked the activity, so it's kind of sporadic. Usually they play realistic ground battles as a group. They'll usually play a couple games in a row, and then people kind of tend to walk off for the night. So there's no real set schedule. Because you got like Burwolf, he works swings, he's 12-hour shifts. Terran's working graveyard, others work days. So basically, what they're saying is, if you guys want to play War Thunder, just give a shout out to people in TS and to one of the regulars, and then they'll set something up and then go do it with you. So go have fun.
Cool stuff.
Yep. So basically, what they're saying is, there's no reason why you guys shouldn't be playing War Thunder if you like it, because somebody's there to play.
Baby.
Let's see. Uprising. Star Wars Uprising, the little mobile game. Without any announcements or news banners, Chapter 2 was released. So, way to go, marketing department of Star Wars Uprising. Tier 2 weapons, armors, and new top level has gone from 40 to 50. Bespin's been unlocked. Bounty Hunter class has been unlocked, so flamethrowers for the win. And you can continue the storyline as well. There's no more dead stop. The game's added a few more maps, or rather parts of maps, to make them more random, so no more running the exact same Star Destroyer map over and over and over and over. So we've got the guys. Who's actually in charge of Star Wars Uprising? Who, as far as we go, who runs that?
That's
Anybody?
That's the guy I'm going to turn into a new sofa
Me.
cushion if he keeps panicking.
Okay. So, there's new stuff to do, basically. So you guys, I'm not going to read everything that's there, but basically what he's saying is there's no reason, if you haven't been there for a while, come on back. It's time to play some more. Let's see. Anything else you guys want to add to that before I continue?
Nope.
Okay. Guild Wars 2.
Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Sorry.
Okay.
Just making sure I was
So,
in the right
I'm-
place.
Just back on the Star Citizen topic. I'm behind by like 4 months. It was done in August.
Wow. Okay.
Guild Wars. Shall we? Let's continue.
Portal professionalism. Make it a thing.
Oh, yes.
Distracting Zoza.
That's not hard to do.
Zoza, the forums are broke. Zoza, why aren't you at the Ordocast?
Pretty much. It's because you was too busy playing Fallout 4, that's why.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute too. Let's see.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah, we do, because it's fun. It's part of our job. This is what we do. So apparently week 1 of the ESL Guild Wars 2 Pro League kicks off on Monday. So they've got 16 PvP teams from across the world that have fought all the way up to the top of the ESL Guild Wars 2 Pro League. And starting, I'm guessing, Monday of next week, they're going to be fighting. They're going to be battling out for $200,000 in cash. The European Pro League broadcast begins 10 a.m. Pacific time and is followed by the North American cast at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So,
Fair enough.
that'll be fun. I didn't know I didn't even know they had a pro league.
Yeah, most of them. It's, it's something that was awesome.
It's
A couple of years ago when only a few games did, but now every game seems to be doing it.
Well, it's a good way for them to make money because it's bringing in sponsors and all kinds of stuff. So of course they're going to jump on the bandwagon and then beat it to death like everybody else does. I mean, well, it still comes down to, if you want the money, Dota is where the money is. And oh crap, what's the other thing
Everybody
that
wants
plays?
everyone wants
Starcraft.
a league like Dota.
There
Or
is
wants tournaments like Dota.
Eh.
Or Planetside.
Yeah. Okay, so according to my notes, Zoza has an epic rant for
Right,
Star Wars.
let's get Wildstar out of the way first, because I've got a feeling that's going to be shorter.
Okay.
No, well, maybe.
Yeah, let's get Wildstar out of the way first.
All right. So Wildstar has been kicking ass as usual. They had a couple of huge raids.
Who's the anonymous chip squirrel on the Google documents?
So yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
they're-
good job
they're
on
making
that.
progress.
I appreciate. Yeah, they're doing some progression runs in Wildstar, and they've really been kicking some serious ass. So, way to
Now
go
if-
on that, guys. It's really cool.
Now, if Tor can get their progression going.
Shut up, Zoza.
That's right.
Shut up, Zoza. Fix what's
let's-
broken first, then do fun stuff. Not do fun stuff, then fix what's broken. Zoza. Forums.
Kind of have to do it at the same time.
No.
But
Don't
no,
have
my
to.
rant though is more. Just lately, I've been pretty irritated at the developers. So it's more gameplay, functionality oriented, not the chapter itself. We do have a lot of good members in the chapter. Hopefully, we can get a lot more good members in the chapter and work on that progression. Get a consistent schedule like Wildstar does. But when it comes down to functionality,
What did EA break now?
they didn't break anything. It's just
They broke
They're not-
Zeus's heart.
they're not expand. Okay, so Knights of the Fallen Empire came out.
Mm-hmm.
It added a few little fixes here and there. Like, what did they? They didn't. No, they didn't even add anything when it comes to like user interface or just general tools. They just added content.
They gave us
And
Snap
it's-
to Grid.
Okay.
They gave us Snap to Grid.
It seems so little that they're pitching into game functionality.
Carvey,
when you
hush!
have-
I was way ahead of you.
When you have World of Warcraft, I'm going to name a bunch of games, but
Go on then.
all of these games, okay, like World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, WildStar, okay, not a bunch of games, but the 3 games that I've played a lot of have by far more tools and features than Tor does. And they're EA and BioWare.
Well, now one thing I will say is as much. Here's the thing.
But hold
We've seen
on. I can see EA doing the whole, oh well, that's not gonna get us any more money now, is it?
Well, right. Well, see, this is what I'm saying. Though, this is
Great idea.
TOR has either done one of two things. They either fuck around with the technical side of things and fuck everything up, or they add content. I haven't seen them do a split of both. Now, in most of the other games that you mentioned, though, they've stolen or they've borrowed a lot of the ideas that TOR came up with and have implemented it into their system. So it makes it feel like it's a more rounded, more full game. And you can't use World of Warcraft as an example for anything because they've been around for 10 years. And
Yeah.
they're still fucking shit up.
Well,
So I mean, in Tor's defense, it's they sat down, they listened to the community, and they added content, and then left everything else alone. And now people like us, you and I, who are more mechanical type people, want to fix the mechanical things, and they're just kind of letting it go off to the wayside. Now what happens in the next expansion, they turn around and fix all the mechanical stuff, but don't add a lot of content. People are going to bitch about that too. It's a no-win situation. No matter what they do, they're fucked. Because somebody's going to find something to bitch about.
there are just so many little things that I wouldn't say they're easy to implement, but they're easy to implement.
Maybe you should go work for EA then, and
well,
unfuck their
I
shit.
think one of the big issues is, again, it comes down to money. EA is looming over BioWare, saying, "Is that going to make us money?" But things like, so the outfit system keeps people spending money, which keeps people playing and doing dailies, which gets them more money. Because you have to earn credits, so you have to keep playing, and so on and so forth. But things like a simple... Well, I understand that they don't want to add plugins, because that can be abused. There are ways to make it so it can't be abused, but I don't think they want to mess around with it. I don't think they want to risk it.
They won't.
But simple things like exporting a guild roster. Been wanting that since day one. Been wanting a lot of guild tools since day one. I have a whole list of things on
I know.
the Tor forums, and they've completed maybe 5 things out of 50 in the past 2 years.
That's 10%. Yay.
They're making progress.
We all know it's going to take a long time to get anything. one thing that just 9/10 of the population has been screaming for the last 3 years is just a simple animation where a Jedi can lift his hood up and put his hood down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's it. It's a short little animation where it brings the hood up and it takes the hood down, and it's never going to happen.
I think that's more complicated than.
Well, I know,
people
but
think.
that's what I'm saying though. It's something that seems like it would be simple. Well, is an animation of pulling the hood up and putting the hood down isn't going to be done. So things that are more technical are probably going to be put on the back burner too.
I think so. In game development, especially with MMOs, throughout the life of an MMO, you kind of pick up, especially if you have developed games or you have experience developing games and the game content, you pick up things that are new to the game that you kind of suspect they're going to implement something further. For example, when what's that planet called? The speeder. Once you run over the lights, the speeder boosts. What's that? Zyast, yes. So when I did that the first time, my first thought was, this is an experiment to test if it's capable of doing something more. And, like racing.
All that was just a nod to KOTOR when you're doing the racing on
Yes and no. It's but
that's all that was. I was like, let's give them a little something. A little nod.
No, I think it was an experiment because
for what though?
For something more. They tried some. They wouldn't go to the extent of programming a boost system into a speeder if they didn't have the intent to do something more with it in the future. They would have just, made it so you can jump over something instantly, or they probably wouldn't even put the obstacle in the way.
Probably the only thing that could even go into would be some sort of drag race.
Yeah.
That would be it. But then we're still waiting 2 years for things like Sabak and Dejarik to go in the game, which they say, well, guess what, guys? We've got it on our wall of crazy. We'll do it one day.
There are other things as well. Vehicle animations, weapon animations. When they first came out, there was only one, maybe two items that had those abilities in them. And then they're like, okay, great, this works. People want this stuff. Let's make more so we can sell more. And they go on from there.
The only reason
glowing armor pieces.
Different.
Now, the glowing armor was a cool thing. I wish they'd do more of that.
I agree. Well, depends on the armor. I wish...
It looks good on the trooper armor.
True. I kind of wish you could customize it more. There's another customization that I hope they'd come out with. Weapon customization. Which, these are all it's really unnecessary.
I know another one Zoza has on his list that he wants.
What?
Guild emblems on armor.
That would be nice. Is that on my list? It should be.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, a couple of months ago, didn't they talk about something like that? Some sort of future edition that they'd look into.
I'm not sure. But expect all of these ideas to come with price tag.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because, throwing new shit out that is free and all that stuff is more unlikely than them throwing stuff out that has a price tag, whether it be cartel coins or credits. Mm-hmm. Because again, they make money by keeping you playing. Therefore, the more they charge in credits, the more money they make because you have to keep playing.
True, but there are certain things that people don't mind paying for, especially on a free to play model like TOR is. TOR is one of the few games out there that has actually got a decent free to play model. It's got its problems. I mean, don't get me wrong, but the model that they use is not bad, and the stuff that you're talking about makes sense. If you add something to the game that people really like, they're going to be willing to pay for it.
I agree.
Which is cool.
A business has to make money.
I think what they need to do is they just need to look and go, right, okay, let's do just one massive update that's just nothing but quality of life changes.
That would be...
So you get things like your guild roster export.
Guild tax.
Guild tax. No, screw you, Zoza.
2% of everything you get is not that much.
Screw you, Zoza.
A month down the road. Well, we have 30 million in the bank.
Okay, Zoza, say you could put in this guild tax. Are free-to-play players going to be exempt? Are preferred players only going to get charged 1%?
Free-to-play players, when they get to 300,000, they need to find a place to put their money. So they often go spend it on the market on just random shit. So.
Wait,
they got that escrow. They've got the escrow cap, don't they?
So I don't think they're going to be missing it that much.
This is true.
I mean, I can just imagine. I'm not a free-to-play player. I'm kind of a lifetime player. But I can just imagine going to free-to-play, getting up to, I think it's 350,000, being like, okay, I don't want any of my money to go into escrow. Let's go find the most expensive thing that I can buy on the market and just buy it. It'll most likely be a mount or something that would lock to my legacy.
In a way, though, I mean, you think about it. Yes, the whole escrow system for free to play is actually kind of good, because once they hit that 350 cap, anything they earn over that goes into their fund. And you just think you do that for like 6 months.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't spend your credits, and then you go, okay, well, I'm going to go subscriber for a month. They look and they got something like 10, 12 million credits. It'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
that would be
that's one thing they really didn't look into the possibility of happening.
What we're talking about.
Nice thing. Well, hold on.
Odin said in chat was, "Oh look, I can't even buy an operation pass for 350K." Which is what
that's a system that got seriously screwed up. Here, I will sell you this operation pass because you're free to play and you can't do operations. But guess what? I'm going to sell it for 600,000 credits. So you can't buy it.
Kavi says they're normally 850.
What?
Yep.
Just stupid.
That's expensive.
Do you know what I would love to see happen?
Inflation.
You could use in-game credits to buy subscription time. I think WildStar does it, doesn't it?
WildStar does it. World of Warcraft just started doing it. You can buy WoW tokens. EVE Online does it. They started that, as far if I remember correctly.
That's what I'd love to see. Have an option for free-to-play players that if you get, say, 10 million credits in your escrow account, you can turn that into maybe a month of subscription time.
Maybe that's asking a whole lot though, because that's a lot of cash.
I know, but still, it'd be nice to have some sort of option there for that, or turn it into cartel coins.
Yeah,
say every 20 million credits, you get something like maybe 50 cartel coins or something like that.
Yeah, but and again, and I'm not trying to argue with you guys. I'm just playing devil's advocate. But the only thing that's going to do is open up. It's going to make gold farming a viable option.
It already is a viable option.
No, it wouldn't.
It would. No, it wouldn't. Yes, it would, because if people are going to sit down, they're going to pay. Let's say they go pay $5, right? $5 for 100 million credits. They turn around and then go buy 500 cartel coins or 1,000 cartel coins. Now, how much do you pay 1,000 cartel coins right now? So like $25.
Okay, so wait.
Yeah, but none of
You're
these
saying-
gold farming lot are going to give you 100 million credits for $5.
Well, no,
That's
I'm
what-
just saying.
that's what
I'm
I'm
just saying.
saying
I'm just using that as an example.
From in-game credits to in-game time, not cartel coins.
Well, I was just saying cartel coins might be another nice one.
Oh, I think cartel coins would. I think that would break the system. So you go from credits to cartel coins. I think that would break the system. But if you went from credits to game time, you could
like Wild
charge.
West with it.
You could charge more than what the gold farmers charge. So they're less of an option because you don't have to use money. Okay, hold on. Let me try to think of this.
So that won't work.
Your gamer goes in. Let's say you could buy 1 million credits for $15 from a gold farmer, but it costs 2 million in-game credits to get 1 month of subscription. A gamer without that won't work. Damn it!
Kind of see where you're going with it.
It won't work.
To beat the credit farmers, they would still have to outprice them, but then the credit farmers would just lower their prices for more product.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd still become cheaper than it would be going to actually get a subscription or a 60-day time card or something.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and that's the big thing is because the whole reason why gold farming works is because you can go spend $2 or $3 or $4 and you can get X amount of gold, which is gonna it won't work because it's still cheaper for you to go talk to the gold farmers and get it from them than it is to actually deal with the company that's giving it to you.
Yep.
Let's see,
no matter what you do, because they're not losing any money. These guys, most of these guys are in like South Korea and China, where they're getting paid, $4 or $5 an hour to sit there and play video games for however long, and the money just flies in. And then you got the people who are paying them on top of that. They're making money on top of money. So the gold farmers have all they have to do is just drop their prices a little bit, and people are still going to turn to the gold farmers before they go deal with BioWare or Battle.net.
So it's 2 million credits for $5. Approximately.
Not a bad deal.
Yep. Which is what, a week's worth of grinding?
Not even that.
No, not even that. So about $3 for a million. Yeah, about $3 to a million.
Hell, you could earn $1 million just by doing all your dailies from 50 upwards.
Yeah.
So, but hey, so for the first time since it was conceived and actually added to the show notes week after week after week, Zoza, we actually have something for Command Deck.
We do?
We do. The note there, it just says forums.
Oh.
Oh, yes, oh.
Did I talk about... I guess we haven't talked about the forums in
we haven't
Ordocast
really
yet.
Mentioned it that much. Just that you and
I mentioned it in
Firefox
the
been
community meeting.
changing it and broke it. And,
so Firefox broke the forums.
Because he got bored.
The end. Just kidding.
So, okay, tell us the whole story of the forums from the beginning, how you found out they got upgraded and all that jazz.
Okay, so
and
3
while
weeks
you do
ago...
that, I will be right back. I'm going to take care of something real quick.
I don't know. I mean, we've been contemplating upgrading the forums for a few months now. Well, I wanted to make sure that it was released. It was on IPB's front page saying, IPv4 is released. Get it now, blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to make sure that it was stable. People were using it. I messed around with a demo. And I talked to Firefox about it, and we decided we would wait a little longer, make sure that it was all good. And I woke up one Saturday, and I checked the forums like I usually do, and it was all screwed up. Actually, I think it was down at the time, and Firefox had linked me the uh, the progress that he was working on, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're upgrading. And it finished. It was a pretty quick install, but it had to compile a lot of information, so that took probably 12 hours to do. A lot of things were broken at the time, kinda. Pictures didn't load all the way. I spent the rest of the day, all day Saturday, and the next day, trying to make it look as close as possible to our previous layout. So we loaded up the skin the updated skin. I broke it twice or something. I finally got it working and just went from one setting to another, trying to get everything figured out.
So, long story short, you and Firefox need to learn how to communicate with one another, is what you're saying. Because that's what I'm hearing. That sound pretty reasonable?
He's he's pretty good at where it's a broken network.
Oh God, yes, Firefluff. So, yeah, we're working on things slowly. We're also in the process of trying to upgrade the Feed the Beast servers. Those has finally given me access to the freaking back end.
Yeah, you have fun. I'm done messing around with that. I have tried to get that server running, and I cannot for some reason.
What?
I don't know why.
Yeah,
the errors logs are there, so have fun with that.
So the only thing I really need now is I just need access to the Windows box back end so that I can finish the upgrade on that, so we can run the FTB server on Windows for now while I'm trying to upgrade the Linux box.
Just use Linux box.
It doesn't work.
We'll move the world again.
I know, but what I'm saying is we need to keep the other one running. That way it is running, but it's still on the old version. I don't have access to the Windows box to upgrade it.
Oh.
So I want to keep basically we're going to treat the Linux box as our test server for right now, so I can get everything running. That way we can keep the old Windows one running. That way everybody can go play it while I go break the Linux box. That way Firefox doesn't fucking slit our throats in our sleep. Because he does that stuff. So that's it for Command Deck. On to gaming news. So I'm sure everybody knows that Fallout 4 has coming out because Zoe has been griping at me for playing it. He finally got it. Mashan has apparently put 93 hours into the ruins of Boston, and all I can say is the game is fucking amazing. Apparently there's two camps. You either love it or you hate it. Most of the hate is aimed at the graphics, the combat mechanics, and the bugs. Honestly, from what I've seen, the graphics are amazing. I mean, even by most AAA standards, the graphics are cool.
I've spent 30 hours on the game so far, in total. Mm-hmm. I do have some rants about the game.
Well, I know.
Really irritate me.
There are things that are broken in, but keep in mind, this is also Bethesda.
Dog.
I know there are things in the game that are broken, but this is Bethesda, and Bethesda, every game Bethesda has ever put out has always been littered with bugs, so that the community can turn around and make the game the way that they want it to be. Because Bethesda's always been really cool with the modders. They've never, as far as I know, they've never shit all over modding like a lot of other games do. They want people to come in and do it, and an easy way for them to do it is to leave some of the bugs in there. So,
one of the things, apparently, when it comes to modding Bethesda games is like my all-time favorite thing to do. Mm-hmm. Rumor is that the Fallout fan base is larger than Skyrim.
Yeah. It is.
Especially mods. Like the first day, there were a ton of mods already.
Yep.
And if you check Nexus, there's... Yeah, I could go on.
There's dozens. Yeah. We touched
More
on
than
that a little
that.
bit last week. But from whatever, I mean, and I agree with Michonne on this too, is the graphics are fine. A lot of people can't even put the thing up on high without their computers bogging down because the graphic load is so heavy. And these are people that are not, they're running fairly decent systems. People are saying that there's too much color in the Wasteland, but the single most downloaded mod so far adds more color to the Wasteland. So nobody's really sure how that works. The combat system has been improved, and yes, I do agree with that. The VAT system has been drastically improved since New Vegas. And same thing with Skyrim. So it is a lot more fun, and it doesn't feel like a chore like it did with the other stuff. You don't try to avoid combat because you don't want to deal with it. The VAT system that needed a huge overhaul, and they got it, and it works amazing. That's some of the best I've seen. Michonne definitely recommends that you get it and just to check it out. And just make sure you have a lot of free time, because even if you stick to the main, if you only stick to the main mission, just the main mission, it's going to take you at least 30 to 40 hours just for the main mission. And the other stuff that's in there, it's not, from what I've seen of the stuff. And I haven't gotten all that far in it because I have to work so damn much. But from what I've seen so far, even the other stuff is not all that bad. Like the add-on missions, they don't feel like they're tacked on and stuff that you have to do. It's everything's optional, but it does. A lot of it has an effect on what happens in the game. The side missions you go do once you get your homestead set up, the side missions will affect what you can put in your homestead and all the rest of that jazz. It's cool. It actually feels like you're doing something. You're not just like with Skyrim. You go run and do all those side missions. They don't do a goddamn thing in the game itself. Not a fucking thing. I
got a new weapon.
Yay!
Oh, I just picked up another one that does more damage.
Yep. Exactly. So I mean, I've been watching a lot of people play. I've got a friend of mine that I've known for years. I don't know if you remember Drac or not. Zoza.
No, I don't remember Drac. Yes, I do.
Yeah, she's been playing it.
Can't forget her.
Yeah, she's been playing it a lot. I've been following her on her Twitch account, and she's been streaming a shitload of it lately, and it is freaking amazing. I think she's up to level 25, 25 or something like that, and it's amazing. This is probably one of the best games Bethesda's put out in a long time. They fixed a lot of the stuff that needed to be fixed that was wrong with Skyrim.
35.
I can't wait till they come out with the creation kit.
Yeah. What was that? What was that, Michonne? No. What was that, Michonne?
I am over level 35 now.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, that was Michonne talking to my ear. He says he's over level 35 now. So. He's still pouring time into it.
What is the max level? Anyone
I don't
know?
think there is. I don't know. I really don't know. Most of the time with a lot of the.
I think there is a max level.
Yeah, most of the time with the Bethesda games, you can sit there and play it, and it just keeps on going. You go back and you can, if I remember right, with some of them, you cap out and you go back to the beginning of the game at the level that you're at and start all over again and just keep rolling higher and higher.
That is Borderlands. But Skyrim had a legendary system where you can max out a skill, and then you can make that skill legendary, which gives you some bonuses to it, but it would wipe it, so you'd have to increase your stats in that area again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really happy. And I'm not a huge Fallout fan. I'm really not. I mean, I like the game. It's okay. I'll play it because I've got Fallout 3 and I've got Fallout New Vegas. And I'll play them every once in a while, but I'm not a huge fan of it. It's just I never really saw the appeal. But Fallout 4 is there's a pull, there's a drive that you want to go play it, and you guys know me, I'm not somebody that hops on the hype train. If anything, I try to stay off the fucking hype train. But this one, from what I've seen, is really living up to the hype. You know, you're gonna have people that are gonna moan and bitch about it anyway because they're gonna moan and bitch. But I like it.
Even on normal mode, you've got your challenges ahead for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I jumped in on normal, and then when I started getting into the wasteland, I switched to survival. But even before, a little bit after, I've encountered a few enemies. And it's like, okay, those enemies weren't that bad, and I switched to survival. And I think that survival
change.
Well, so I read up on it, and I think that survival would be more realistic damage. You know, you shoot something twice and it'll die, but if you get shot twice, you'll die, things like that. And it doesn't do that. It actually reduces your damage and increases their damage. So I was a little disappointed with that, and I died plenty of times trying to get through some mobs. But even on normal mode, I'm dying plenty of times trying to get through some mobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it does bring out a little bit of, you're going to need to survive the wasteland, which I'm glad they made more apparent.
Yeah, I agree. So, moving on to Battlefront. This one's been out for a few days, and this is another one that's really, really mixed. It's you either love it or you hate it. And a lot of people that are out there that are FPS fanatics, it's even split with them. They can't decide whether they like it or not. They're saying the people, on the positive side, they say there's good performance and that kind of stuff. But as a mainstream shooter, it's There's a lot of stuff broken with it, and I don't know. It
didn't feel like a shooter to me.
I don't know. I haven't.
When I was in beta, it didn't feel like a shooter.
Yeah.
It felt more like Battlefront, like the original. Not really a shooter, but kind of Battlefront, kind of FPS. But
now this is one that Ezra can jump in on because he's been with it for a long time now. And correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, the problem with it was it's while it's gotten better, it was basically Battlefront, or not Battlefront, Battlefield with a Star Wars skin on it. Has it changed since then, Ezra? Do you know?
Do you know, it was never Battlefield with a Star Wars skin. It doesn't play like Battlefield.
Yeah, it has a different feel to it.
I mean, these days, every shooter game feels exactly the same, no matter whether it's Battlefront, Battlefield, Call of Duty. When you get down to the framework, they're all exactly the same. But this is new server tech, it's new coding, it's more progressive. Technically and visually, it's beautiful, it's stunning, it's so far ahead of any other game right now. But playability-wise,
it's broken to shit.
It's not that it's broken. I mean, it works. For what it is, it works. But it's not Battlefront.
Yeah.
And I guess in a way, you can actually argue that's kind of a good thing. In a way. Because I went back and I played the original Battlefront games quite recently. And it's only going back and playing those that you realise how buggy and broken and crap they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
What, the old ones?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at this one, you go, well, actually, yeah, it's not Battlefront. It's more... How can I put it? It's not so much a new game. It's more of a remake of the original with a lot of stuff fixed and a lot of stuff added.
So it's more of an update.
But apart from the tech and the visual side of things, there's nothing really that new.
Probably why they decided to go with Battlefront instead of Battlefront 3.
Probably. I mean, make this game into a single-player story game. They could charge whatever the hell they want, and people would have paid it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's because of the fact that they marketed it as Battlefront. That's what let them down, because people had so many expectations. And I'm the same, as I said on the previous Ordocast. I had so many expectations for this game. And
I think
because my expectations weren't met, it crushed me.
one thing I do miss about from the old Battlefront 2 Battlefront games was the Galactic Conquest, or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
I mean, it was single player, or I think on the Xbox you could play 4-player.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed that. That was fun.
Well, that's one thing I
kind of followed a story mode.
The story of the 501st.
Yeah.
Going from its inception as the Clone Troopers all the way up until the end of Return of the Jedi. That would have been absolutely fantastic in this, especially when they're putting Episode 7 content in there as well, to see how that story then continues afterwards. That would have been great as a single-player mode.
I figured they'd be doing that.
But
I kind of have a suspicion that they might do a little bit of that with the Old Republic also.
They may do. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, we're going to move on to entertainment news?
Yes. And actually some really cool stuff that's been coming out. Now, for anyone that knows me, knows I'm a big X-Files fan. I loved it when it first came out. I guess I don't know you. You guess you really don't. I am a huge X-Files fan. I loved it, and I think I've sat there and rewatched every single episode on Netflix like twice since they threw it on there. And for those of you that are in the know that they're coming out with a brand new series.
And is it a new series or is it a reboot?
No, it's a brand new series. They're continuing the story. And
same actors?
Same actors. Gillian Anderson's going to be there, and David Duchovny, and yeah. And they've released the final set of teaser art coming up to it, and I will post this into... crap, it's a JPEG, that's why. Crap. But hey, if you guys just go here, you can see all the new teaser images, like I Still Want to Believe and Trust No One. And if you remember the poster that Mulder always had on his wall that says "I Believe" with the UFO on the top, same thing, same one, but now it says "I Still Want to Believe," and it looks kind of cool. But yeah, Gillian Anderson's back in it, David Duchovny's back in it, which is quite surprising considering how much they actually hated each other off camera. They hated each other for years, right the way from the start, but yet they never let it show on screen, which I always thought was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah, they hated each other, and they still do.
No, I know that they hated each other, but you could kind of tell that they had the...
Yeah, you could tell in some episodes, but in others they did kind of hide it quite well.
But in those episodes, though, there was usually some kind of an adversarial conflict between them anyway. Mostly between Fox being freaking obsessed with the paranormal, and Scully being the scientifically minded one.
Yeah.
So to me, it never felt like it was one of those things where it was them. I mean, I'm sure that helped with the realism between what was going on, them tapping into those feelings. But it never felt like it. To me, it never felt like it was genuine. And if you think back and look at it, people were wanting Mulder and Scully to basically fall in love and live happily ever after for years.
Yeah. And
if people knew that because I never knew that. I never knew they hated each other offline or off screen.
Mm-hmm.
but in the movie, they tease the shit out of it. People are like, oh yeah, yay, they're finally gonna kiss, and then she gets fucking stung in the neck.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
So I mean, the guys at Fox that wrote
that was gonna happen.
Oh my god, they're a bunch of fucking trolls. That was the best scene in the entire movie. Oh, dude, that is Schumann level trolling.
Thanks for
right
spoiling
there.
it. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh
spoilers.
god, if you haven't seen the X-Files, it's 20 years old. If you haven't seen that freaking movie by now, that's what you can go do with yourself. I don't give a rat's ass about spoilers. Jesus Christ, it's like me spoiling damn Doctor Who TV show episodes from the 60s.
Hey, not everyone's seen every Doctor Who episode.
I've seen all of no episodes of Doctor Who.
Zoza, you suck. I hate you and I don't know you anymore. Get the hell out of my Ordocast.
Well, guess what? The Doctor dies every couple years and regenerates.
Yes.
So
I know that part.
Spoiler alert. This is something that'll interest some of our fans we got out in the audience right now. Is the World of Warcraft movie is actually a thing, and they've released a couple of new trailers.
Yes, they have done.
And I don't know. This is one of those things where I don't know how I feel about this.
Do you know?
Because it's not animated. This is live action.
Oh, I know.
What?
I'm not a World of Warcraft fan by any stretch of the imagination.
Wait, the cinematic they did.
In fact,
was
I call it
CGI.
I call it World of War shit. Yeah, some of it was, but this is actually a live action film.
It's a blending of live action and CGI.
Yeah,
but the reason I know that for sure is because a lot of the stuff they've shown a lot of Thrall. They're showing you they put out a couple of shots of them putting the prosthetics on the actor. They turned the actor into Thrall, so it's all practical effects.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not a World of Warcraft fan by any stretch of imagination, but every single review I've seen on this from a critic has said basically this film's going to be awesome.
I hope so.
I have not seen a bad critic review yet, but if you guys want more info and want to see the trailer, it is right there.
Or it's going to be the art was great and the acting was great, but the story was crap.
Pretty much.
Well,
and I believe it's due
but I don't know. We'll see.
On the 3rd of June next year.
Just like we'll see with Star Wars.
Do you know what? I could go on for an hour about Star Wars right now. I really could. Okay,
one thing.
Here's the thing for you. Everyone keeps expecting it to break box office records. It already has.
Yeah.
It has already sold more advance tickets than any other movie in history since they've been keeping records. IMAX have already reported sales of $18 million domestically in US territories. Another $20 million from Europe. It's already broken records, and I already have my ticket.
Yeah, that's on my. I've got a new roommate. We're gonna be getting tickets here actually right after the Ordocast. I'm gonna go see if there's. I've got some friends of mine that I used to work with that are gonna go see the 4:00 showing. Fuck, I am not gonna get up at 2:00 in the morning to go see the fucking movie. I won't be able to enjoy it. I won't be awake.
You suck.
I will probably go see it Friday. Well, I'll probably go see it early Saturday morning.
I just love how people are bitching because it shows in the UK the day before the US.
I'm
That's
just
fine.
gonna
I don't
wait
give a rat's ass
a few days after it comes out and then go see it.
Well, everyone's going to
less
know.
people.
Everyone's going to know my reaction instantly because the second I get out of the film, I'm just going to post on the forums. It's going to be one thing. It's either going to be, "What the fuck did I just do?" or "Oh my fucking god, Star Wars nerd hype, 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 hype."
Okay, so here's something. IGN posted a thread. Sean just posted this for me. I saw it on Facebook the other day, and I thought I haven't had a chance to research it. Somebody bought. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up on it because what I'm thinking it's off by a factor of 10. A guy bought $2,200 worth of Star Wars tickets He spent $2,180 and bought the entire fucking theater out so he can sit down and enjoy the movie by himself.
Wow. What a douchebag.
Yep. Now, there's also a little feel-good story that goes along with this, too. A few weeks ago, there was one of those posts on Facebook you always see about, somebody sick or whatever. This one I was cynical at first, but this one was actually legit. There was a kid, or a guy that was dying of I think it was stage 4 pancreatic cancer or something.
Wasn't it a kid?
No, well, he was in his 20s, so I mean, he's still a kid.
A kid according to us.
Yeah, us old fuckers. But there was a campaign that went out on Facebook trying to get him to go see the movie before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And J.J. Abrams and some of the executive producers, I think Harrison Ford and a couple of the other guys, got it together and made it possible for him to go see the movie and all that stuff.
No, they actually went to his home.
Oh, they went to the house to show it to him?
They went to his home, they sat down and had him sign NDA and all that, and they put the DVD on, and JJ was on the screen saying, wish I could be there with you, but wanted to be able to grant you this wish, and we hope you enjoy the film. And he loved it. He said it was his greatest wish come true, but unfortunately, shortly after seeing the film, he actually finally passed away.
Week. Yeah.
I think it was like 3 days, 3 to 5 days later or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if that was definitely kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. It certainly was.
All right. So now we're getting to the point where everybody's been bugging me for ranting time. Yay!
What are you gonna rant about now? Didn't I do enough ranting for the Ordocast?
A little bit. Most of this is good ranting. The first one is, and this goes back to what we were talking about last week with the copyright issues. We all know how frivolous the content strikes are on YouTube. It's a pain in the ass. Anybody can slam you and shut down your account for any reason whatsoever.
Oh yes.
YouTube. Now they've been doing this behind the scenes for a while now, but they've actually gone public with it now.
Oh look.
What they're doing is those bullshit claims are actually being slapped down by YouTube itself. And any content creators that get hit with that, and then if the dev decides, or whoever it is decides to take it to court, YouTube will back you up to $1 million and help pay for your court fees.
Hey, about damn time.
So they are moving in the right direction slowly. I've got a link here. It goes to Jim Sterling's channel, because he explains it the best. Because they're actually using a couple of his videos as examples of what not to do. If you want to go after somebody, don't do it this way. So he's it's definitely a move in the right direction. It's slowly getting there. Now the content ID match, that's different. It's a totally different kettle of fish. We're talking about content strikes, where basically your video gets taken down by somebody who claims and puts basically it's like a DMCA claim on your stuff, and then shuts you down and locks you out.
So from what I was reading, from what I was reading, the first denial is usually automatic if it's from a specific claimer or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the content ID.
Yeah, the content ID. And then anything after that is actually interactive with whoever is claiming it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I found that one quite recently.
I guess a lot of them just get ignored.
Yeah. Basically, with the content ID to match, basically what happens is Google's automated robot sheriff guy goes through it. What'll happen is, that's what everybody calls it. They call him the robot sheriff. Basically what happens is you've got not content creators. You've got creators or people who own the IPs who will upload stuff to servers on the YouTube backend. YouTube system then goes through and it scans videos that get uploaded, and if it matches any part of it, automatically puts a clamp down on it. And this is where you get the music stuff and all that stuff that we have to deal with, where you match this, and this. Okay, that's completely different. That's automated. What this is there's let's say there's a developer, EA for example, who turns around and then slams your channel, your entire channel, grabs a video and claims that you're violating copyright. That this is a copyright violation, and all that stuff. So what YouTube is doing is basically, if it is the definition of fair use, they will back you no matter who you're going up against. They will back you, and then they'll put your video back up as long as it's what falls within what they consider fair use. So people people that go through and do movie reviews, and they use clips in the background while they're doing their thing. A lot of that stuff, has been not just ID match, but there have been copyright claims filed against the channel, saying that you can't do that. Nintendo does that stuff a lot. You throw a clip up there, and they'll throw it's not a content ID match. They'll throw a copyright claim on your account. So if it's fair use, Nintendo's fucked. They won't be able to take your video back down. They can't claim. They can't monetize it or any of that stuff because it falls within the U. Now, keep in mind, there are some limitations to this. Right now, it's restricted just to the U.S. because YouTube, being a U.S. company, will fight for it. They want it done in the U.S. They don't want to go overseas and deal with it there. So there is a chance that when your stuff gets taken down, or when they reinstate it, rather, it'll be one of those things where it's restricted to the U.S. or North America because that's where they're based at. But you're not going to have it's not going to be as bad as it was. And Jim goes into talking about there's some indie developers that have gone after him, tried to get him shut down because he gave a negative review about some game that they released. So that's how they went after him, is to basically to shut him up. And now YouTube isn't. They're not allowing that stuff anymore. The most famous incident of that was Day One Gary's Mod. Total Biscuit, his video got taken down. It was eventually reinstated, but the whole reason it got taken down was because he gave his opinion on it. It didn't favor the developer very highly. So,
are they getting rid of strikes?
No.
Damn it.
Basically, what they're doing is because they've got to have some form of control in there. But what's going on, though, is if it comes up as a strike, it automatically flags in the system. Google is physically looking at the video, and if it fits fair use, they just flip the switch and turn it back on.
So is it Google looking at it, or is it the copyright people, the claimant APM Music people looking at it? I know they would have access to it.
Okay. Basically, what happens? Let's say, for example, APM Music is the one that files the copyright claim against you. Okay. Yes. Google or YouTube looks at the video and says, does this fall within fair use? If Google says, yes, it does, they flip the switch and turn it back on. If it doesn't, then you got to go through the rest of the stuff that you got to go deal with. But it's no more. Basically, what happens is no matter what happens, if it's a content claim or if it's a copyright ID issue, what happens is there's a 14-day period from the time that the strike occurs or the claim occurs until the other party. Basically, what happens is you get told that you have an issue. You go in, you file your appeal. All right. The other party has 14 days to respond, and most of the time they wait 13 and a half days before they make a response and then cut it loose, or they extend the claim, which then goes back to you. So now what you have to do is you have to go back and you have to make a counterclaim again, explaining why this is fair use and yada yada yada. So then it goes back to the other guys, where it sits for another 14 to 21 days.
Maximum before they have 30 days.
Yeah. So then it comes.
You could be sitting on this video for like 60 days.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's each iteration has its own time period. So you could be out of a video for 90 days or more because you're going back and forth, because it does it 3 times. The first one where you make the counterclaim goes back to them. That's 1. They come back with you after however long. That's 2. So you send it back. And then the third time that's when basically when you tell them you either pull the copyright claim or you pull your claim, or we're going to court. And they will still wait however long the period is and then finally release it. Most of the time. Big dogs like Sony and that kind of stuff, they'll take it to court in a heartbeat. They don't care. But nobody's actually gone to court with it yet. Most of the time they'll cut it loose. But it's only a matter of time before it does happen. Now with this new copyright system, if it's a copyright claim, because a copyright claim has to be initiated by the actual IP owner, It's not an automated thing. They actually the copyright, whoever owns the copyright initiates the takedown. Google looks at it and goes, "This is not a copyright issue," and turns it back on. And then if they want to continue to go with it, the next step, it doesn't do the back and forth shit anymore.
So this is the new system.
This is the new system. Well, kind of. It's kind of new. Yes, it's kind of new. They've been doing it. Apparently, YouTube has been doing it in the background for a while with a lot of videos because it has been such bullshit. But now they've actually got it set up and it's out in writing where when this happens, what'll happen is they hit you with a copyright strike, which is an automatic strike on your account. Like I said, YouTube takes a look at it. They say, nope, this falls within fair use. They cut it loose. Now the IP owner gets to turn around and go, no, I'm still going to push it. Now they have to deal with your lawyers and YouTube's lawyers. Nice. And that's where it's stopping most of the time because a lot of the people that are doing this shit, it depends on what it is. They can't afford it.
So I worked at eBay for a little while doing copyrights or taking down purses. Purses because they were often
knockoffs.
What's that word called? Yeah, they were knockoffs. It was purses, it was digital items. We would take down a lot of stuff. A lot of French fashion items. Mm-hmm. And I understand that they have to protect their items, but it was more none of it was automated. The company that owned the items hired people to go through eBay and identify these items and flag them. Mm-hmm. So they actually had to do it themselves. There was no automated system.
Yep.
The automated system is nice for as a tool, especially in media, so it can help. I mean, you can't expect the company to hire a group of people to watch every single video and make sure, but the system that catches these can help the companies who do own the rights identify what could possibly be infringing.
Yeah. The only issue is YouTube is a hell of a lot bigger than than eBay is ever going to be as far as the amount of content that it has. We're talking billions of videos. Okay? So that's part of the reason why that's where the automated system comes in, because all that has to happen is if you own a specific IP, you upload your IP to their back-end servers. The system sits down and it scans it, and if it finds a match, then it'll lock it down. That's why in a lot of if you go see some of the illegal uploads that you see, like movies and that kind of stuff on YouTube, there's some kind of weird filter on the screen, or it magnifies it a little bit, or they'll take it and flip it upside down. They'll do things like they'll upload it at half speed, so that when you put it into time and a half or double speed, it plays at regular speed. That kind of stuff. That it's because the content ID match system doesn't match what the server has, and people have found a way around it. Now this, with the copyright strike, a copyright strike is initiated by the IP owner. So they have to physically go in and make a claim. It's not the content ID system doing it automatically. That's the difference. All right. With a content ID match, the video is just pulled in, and there's nothing. It doesn't hurt your account anymore. A copyright strike puts a strike on your account, and the only way to get back into it is you have to log in, go through. Do you know what copyright is? And then watch a fucking movie, and then answer questions about that little fucking movie. And then it says, then it releases your account, and now you can get back in and actually go fight to get your video put back up. I've been through this.
Did you do this on your own account?
Yeah. No, I had it done to me with some of the Star Wars videos that I had uploaded.
Okay.
Because what happened was I'd gone through it, I made the first claim. Now what the difference with mine was, what initiated was a content ID match, so I fought back. And then when they came back with the second one, it put a copyright strike on my account.
Was it, let me guess, was it Knights of the Fallen Empire?
Nope. Nope. It wasn't. This was original content way back in the day. What it was Sony being pissy because the music that was playing in the background is the music that's embedded in the game.
Yeah.
And they were trying to make a claim against it's basically saying that I'd violated their IP rights, which was bullshit because it's fair use because it's embedded in the system. There's nothing I could do to control it. I'm not playing Star Wars music in the fucking background. The system's doing it automatically. And the reason you know that is because it was a boss fight. It was the music for that particular boss fight that they claimed. So this was stuff it's embedded in the game. I can't control it.
Oh, you can, but that wouldn't be very entertaining.
No, it's not. It's just dead silence, which isn't usually when I do stuff like that. When I stream it now, I just turn everything off except for the sound. I'm surprised I haven't gotten claimed for the damn blaster fire sounds yet.
I don't think they'd go that far.
It's Sony.
True, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, I know.
I don't think YouTube would be like, no, we are not going to load every single sound effect in your freaking video game.
The big thing is there are ways around it. Like, for example, the clips and stuff that you show, I think there's like a minimum of 30 seconds. As long as it's less than 30 seconds, the Content ID system isn't going to match it.
So, from what I know, if you're going to make a commercial, a TV commercial, what I recall was if it was less than, I think it was 20 seconds, then you didn't have to ask permission. But that was like 10 years ago. I don't know if that's still accurate.
I don't know. It's changed a little bit.
You know, YouTube flags everything. It doesn't matter if it's 15 seconds or less.
Yeah.
I don't think it flags anything longer or less than 15 seconds, though.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. So I mean that is definitely that's a good thing for all of us that like to live stream and upload to YouTube. Now the next one.
Odin says the Wilhelm scream is the next copyright.
All right.
Wow,
so
that would flag a lot.
Yeah. So on this, Kotaku. I like Kotaku. Don't get me wrong. They do a lot of the stuff they write is pretty good. But one of their editors did a little opinion piece, and basically they were whining because Bethesda and Ubisoft and a couple other Bethesda blacklisted them basically. And they're playing the whipping boy. But if you actually go through and read back and find out what happened and why they got blacklisted, you understand why.
Wait.
Basically, what happened was Kotaku was whining because they had to wait until after the release of Fallout 4 before they could actually put out their reviews. So they're behind everybody else, and this is a huge release. So this is costing them money. How
is everyone else getting access to the game before? Never mind.
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
it's a journalistic thing.
They were forced to wait because back in when was it? When they
2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was about 2 years ago when they first released the news of Fallout 4 back in it was 2013.
Mm-hmm.
They released a whole bunch of info about Fallout 4 and stuff that Bethesda didn't want released at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want it released. They wanted to wait. They were like, okay, you can look at this, start forming ideas, opinions, getting a news article together, but there's core things here we don't want you to release. They went and released them anyway.
Well,
so Bethesda
kind of.
blacklisted them.
Kind of. Basically, what ended up happening was there were people at Bethesda that leaked information to Kotaku, okay, about Fallout 4, and the same thing happened with Ubisoft with a lot of the Assassin's Creed games.
They've done it with near enough every games company. It's only that Ubisoft and Bethesda have bothered to stand up and go, yeah, do you know what? No, we're going to whack your testicles with a wooden ruler.
So, so Kotaku puts out this big, huge, long, oh, woe is me, they're silencing my First Amendment rights and all this bullshit, when that's not the case at all.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind, Kotaku,
They were doing them a favor, and
no. All the stuff that Bethesda got, or all the stuff that Kotaku got, these were leaked. This was leaked information. This was stuff that people that worked at Bethesda released against their standing for, whatever the rules are at Bethesda. They're not supposed to do it. It's not illegal, but you'll lose your job for doing it. So they released to Kotaku. Kotaku turns around and makes this huge expose saying Fallout 4 confirmed, years before Bethesda's ready to even say anything about it.
Yeah.
So, and the problem with that is, and I agree with a lot of the critics that are on this. What would have happened if Bethesda had to cancel Fallout 4?
Mm-hmm.
This was years before. I mean, they had just started. They were going through the storyboards and all that stuff. They had just started the design and all that jazz, getting the visuals started, the programming had just started, and all this stuff gets released. Now, we all know games get canceled on a whim for no fucking reason whatsoever. So had Bethesda decided that Fallout 4 was not going to be the game that they wanted it to be, and they scrapped it, all that information, everybody would have turned on Bethesda, because it's like that whole Half-Life 3 confirmed bullshit.
Star Wars 1313.
Yeah, it was released way before it should have been. And if they'd have just waited another year, Bethesda would have released it at E3.
Basically, Kotaku bitching, whining, and complaining because they gave out leaks and now they're getting burnt for it.
Yep.
And they're trying to claim, it's good journalism and all this, but really they're just trying to justify leaks that they shouldn't have been putting out anyway.
Yeah. Now, if it's things like, now, for example, now I could be on their side if it was one of those situations where it was Konami had blacklisted them for releasing information about the working conditions at Konami. Okay, I would completely agree with that. That was bullshit. That's the publisher trying to silence a critic. But when you're taking game footage or information about the game, because nobody knew where the game was going to be at, nobody knew it was going to be in Boston. Everybody knew after Kotaku released it, because everybody fucking jumped on it. It was clickbait. And that was the big thing, and that was the whole reason Kotaku released it, because that was going to be instant money. That was the whole reason they did it. It was instant money. It was clickbait. Nobody knew who the main characters were going to be. Nobody knew anything about the storyline. Nobody knew anything except that there were rumors that Fallout 4 was being worked on. And then Kotaku turns around and releases all this shit, and Bethesda says, "You know what? Fuck you. Fuck what you're doing. Screw you guys. I'm going home." And they blacklisted them and wouldn't give them an advanced copy for them to review. So what ended up happening was they had to wait until the release date, have somebody waiting there with their pre-order, and and go through and play the game, and then release it after the game had been released. Meanwhile, everybody else that does games journalism had released their stuff 3 and 4 days earlier, because they had access to it. So it's Kotaku's trying to say, "Oh, well, this is dangerous for games journalism because now we have to worry about our income and all this other bullshit." And I'm like, you guys are a bunch of fucking idiots.
It should be the other way around. It's the journalism and the news that brings the buyers.
Right.
So the developers should have a choice of who they want to give an advanced copy to.
And they do.
Yeah, they do have a choice.
Well, they do have that choice, but
Kotaku is whining because Bethesda didn't give them an advanced copy.
Okay.
And they're saying, oh my God, we've been blacklisted. And then basically trying to overblow the whole why they got blacklisted in the first place.
Yeah, but it's the whole reason why they got blacklisted, and they should know better than anyone. I mean, you look at all the different news sites that is out there for gamers. They all follow a set pattern. A developer will put a game in storyboards, art, mechanics, build the engine, build the artwork, get it running. Then they start on press releases, giving out structured bits of information at certain times. Yep. No matter what game it is, every game for like the last 15 years has followed the same model. They give out certain bits of info at different times to build their hype so people will come in and get that game. Basically what Kotaku did was completely ignored all of that and gone, okay, well, someone's leaked this information, so we're going to give it to you as truth.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They should not be bitching.
Because, I mean, Bethesda would have had their whole model set up. When it would have come to finally announcing that Fallout 4 was a thing, it probably would have been one big teaser image with the guy in the armor and just a 4 above his head or some crap like that. That would have exploded across the net.
Mm-hmm.
But because Kotaku decided to do all that first, it was like, okay, well, news is out. This when Bethesda did go to do it, they were like, oh, okay, yeah, but we already knew about this. But thanks for confirming, Bethesda.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, I mean, from one side, I can see, okay, yeah, it gets the hype train going, but the other side, it screws Bethesda because they're worried about the bottom line.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, you've got stupid stuff like Aliens, Colonial Marines, which was a fucking clusterfuck. And now imagine this. Imagine this for a second. All that stuff that went in the Colonial. Let's imagine that Fallout 4 did the same thing. They built all this stuff. They had all this bullshit ready to go. Somebody releases it, and then the game is nothing. Absolutely nothing like the shit that got released. But that's what everybody's expecting now. We just had a conversation not 10 minutes ago about expectation versus reality. Talking about Battlefront. Imagine the fallout, no pun intended, that would have come about because if they'd have released all this shit and the game was completely different from what Fallout 4 actually became. If it had been a Colonial Marines type clusterfuck. Holy fuck.
Fallout was... Yeah. Bethesda they communicated and they showed off the game, though.
Eventually, at E3, when they were ready to release it and let everybody know that Fallout 4 was confirmed. Kotaku, a year earlier, released leaked information about the game, where it was at, who the characters were, all that information.
I'm talking in comparison to Colonial Marines.
Well, right, but at that point, though, it's also damage control. Because Kotaku had already released everything. Now, had somebody gotten a hold of Colonial Marine stuff beforehand and released it, it might have gone a little bit differently. They might have been forced to make sure the game was the way it was supposed to be. But
had to hold them accountable.
Yeah, but hold them accountable. There's a time and a place for it. And when you're talking about shitty working conditions like at Konami and that kind of stuff, I can understand releasing leaked information.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but when you're talking about releasing, and you know how we just had a conversation at the beginning of this about spoilers. You know how people are about spoilers, and they're basically releasing huge plot spoilers for the game just to bring clicks in, just so that it's clickbait. It's bullshit. So
well,
okay.
They gone screwed up, and now they're paying the price for it.
And whining like fucking 2-year-olds. Welcome to the internet, boys.
So, let's move on with the last bit of platform news. I guess really this should have been gaming news more than anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to slap Mission for this one, put it in the wrong section.
No, that's not his fault. That was me. I stuck it in there.
Okay, I'm going to have to slap you then. Sorry, Mission.
It's okay. So we've got GameZone has released an article basically saying that Dark Souls 3 could be the last in the series. There was one of the producers from Dark Souls did an interview on GameSpot and saying that basically they've taken the game as far as they want it to go. They don't want to turn it into an annual clusterfuck like Call of Duty and Battlefield and Assassin's Creed. Even though the game's really super popular, they want to end it on. But it looks like they may be ending it on Dark Souls 3. So, like usual, we'll put the links in the description, all that jazz. If you guys actually want to go sit down and read it. So that's basically all it is. It's Dark Souls has been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. But if they're gonna kill it and move on to something else, I'd rather them do it while it's at the peak of its popularity than waiting until everybody's fucking tired of it, because then everybody's going to forget about it. Nobody wants it. So that's all that is.
Who developed Dark Souls?
That's a good question. I don't remember offhand.
They may have other plans in the future.
They do. But it's not going to be Dark Souls related. It's from
maybe a sci-fi game. Yes. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Dark Souls. They're developers From Software. FROM. So that's all I've got. If you guys want to go read the article, it's a really good article. I enjoyed it. And Odin's right, yeah. So it's we'll see what happens.
We certainly will.
And now it's time for Ezra's random YouTube vid of the week.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I suppose I better get that playing, hadn't I? Let's see. Once I can find it, I've got it here somewhere. Now, is this the one? Nope, that's not it. When I find it. Okay, I think it's that one. There we go. Don't actually know if this is.
Sir, I must advise against this. The odds of survival are 608 to 1.
No choice, 3PO.
Really random.
My sister's in trouble. R2 gets it.
Yes, I just put in 2 minute clips and this came up. Yes, it is. I just don't hear it.
Everything okay, bud?
I'm not sure yet.
Hurry. You're our only hope.
Yeah, there's sound. I've got it muted. I just unmuted it.
Yeah.
Well, this just got interesting.
Follow my lead.
Oh, look at that. So when he was a kid.
Not far wrong, actually. Not far wrong.
Never underestimate the power of imagination.
See, so there you go.
No, Michonne, it wasn't a spoiler. The Duracell, the Quantum comes with a red package.
Yeah.
So that's why he has the red arm. So
yeah, there we go. I think that's another Ordocast done and over with now.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Now I've got to start figuring out what the hell we're going to do for next week.
The same thing as every week.
Try to take over the world.
Or wait for Zoza to break something.
Or actually update things.
Yeah.
Like the awards.
Yeah.
People coming into this stuff for the first time must really think we fucking hate Zoza because we rag on him constantly. Oh my god.
It's a hobby.
It is. It's a hobby.
Well, I did have some really special background videos for this week, but yeah, After Effects just didn't want to work. So they'll have to be next week.
Yay!
That's why I had to rehash the one from the anniversary special.
And there was much rejoicing.
I'm gonna slap you.
All right, so I think we think it's time to wrap this up, call it a night.
Yeah, I think so, because we've been going nearly 2 hours.
Holy fuck, we haven't had a long one like this in a long time.
Do you notice it always seems to happen when Zoza's around?
Mm-hmm. Maybe we should have Zoza more often.
No.
I think so too, just because
most of the time I
said
just sit here staring at the screen.
I think just because he said no, I think we should have him
making
every time.
backhanded comments about Kisho's. I don't know.
Oh, hang on. I've got this one covered.
Uh-oh. You done fucked it up, Zoza.
There we go.
I put in my vote.
So did I.
So did I.
Who's this Zoza guy? And it's winning.
Oh, man. Well, that's only 3 votes, so...
There we go.
Let's see what happens. All right. So you want to leave this up for a little while, and we'll discuss the we'll reveal the results next week.
Yes. We will
Sounds like a
next
good idea.
week. So.
All right.
But yeah, I think that's definitely a wrap this week.
All right. Well, in that case, as always, I'm the Kisho.
I'm Esfa.
I'm Zoza.
And this was Ordocast episode 17, Smoke Signals, and we'll be back next week. And we'll actually try to be on that time next week.
We'll be back next week with a better title.
Shut up, Zoza. Do you know what? Screw it. You two can do it next week. I'll just do the VOs. You two can do it next week. That's it.
How do you come up with some of these? Some of them are good, but
it's just random. Some of them I choose like. Well, this one I had to choose like 5 minutes before the damn thing was due to start because, as I said, my other VOs weren't ready yet. They were taking a really long time to render for some reason, so I need to look at that. So, yeah. But next week is episode 18, Global Network.
Uh-oh. Skynet. All right,
Will
guys.
Skynet and Mercury finally clash? You'll have to wait and see.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
all
we
right,
are certainly
as
done. So we'll catch you guys later.
Hashtag get Ordo, make it a thing.
And don't forget, share where you can, get people interested in Ordo.
Yep, absolutely. Later, guys.
Catch you later, guys.
Goodbye.
Oh my god. Keisha with a set of nutcrackers. It's the only way you can get that high. Anyway, laters, guys, next week.